Hey, what's up guys? I'm Apache King and welcome back to another video. Today I have some information on Infinite Warfare, and that is to do with the multiplayer and the fact that apparently it feels good, and also Activision says that Call of Duty is setting new records. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, Call of Duty World League casters Matt Mr. X Morello, John Raven Bobble, and Clint Maven Evans all tweeted out that they got a chance to play Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's multiplayer mode last week at Infinity Ward's studio. By the way, this information was released on May the 4th. I apologise for the late video on it, but I've been uploading all these other news videos, so I've been trying to catch up. So, as you can see from this first tweet, it's from Matt Morello, and it says, I got to play Infinite Warfare multiplayer last week. Wish I could say more, but I can say I loved the way it felt at Infinity Ward. Thanks for the invite. Next one from John Bobble. I got to play Infinite Warfare last week. They're all over competitive. Players are going to feel at home after BO3. Thanks at Infinity Ward. And then Clinton Evans says, went to at Infinity Ward and got multiplayer hands on with Infinite Warfare. I loved what I saw, felt great. The multiplayer team is absolutely on track. So as you can see, they all said it felt great, but there's a lot of controversy going around that these guys were just paid to say this, because as I go on, I'll show you another tweet that is exactly the same as the one that I just read out. So there's another one from Anthony Zinni, which is a pro player, and he says, was fortunate enough to get my hands on the Infinite Warfare multiplayer last week at Infinity Ward. Can't say much, but the game feels great. Next one from MJ Chino. Played a little bit of Infinite Warfare, hashtag Infinite Warfare last week at Infinity Ward, and can say if you enjoy BO3, you'll feel right at home with this game. And again, he said, I can't say much about it, but devs loved watching us play and were really interested in our feedback. It's going to be another great year. From Yuli, or Uli, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I got to play Infinite Warfare last week. Wish I could say more, but one thing I can mention, loved the way it felt at Infinity Ward. Got some time with the new Infinite Warfare last week at Infinity Ward. Seemed to be making some very good steps forward for COD eSports. Nice to see. Oh yeah, and what I was on about where I said it's exactly the same. It's, well, I mean, probably shouldn't have said that. I mean, it's very similar. So, and there's some other tweets as well that I saw where it's like three players that apparently win, and they all said exactly the same thing. I can't remember who they are, but I saw it in someone's video, and that's why there's all this controversy. And who I was on about was the tweet from Matt Morello, and that Yuli or Ali is very similar tweets. So I'm not sure whether they are paid to say this, because they all say very similar things, that they love the way it felt and all this. They don't say anything, about the graphics. The graphics are good, or they're the same as, the last two CODs or anything like that. They don't really mention anything about anything like that. So honestly, I'm not too sure whether they are being paid or they literally have gone and these are their honest opinions, but don't know. And Infinity Ward and Activision haven't announced any specific details regarding the multiplayer for Infinite Warfare, other than the fact they will feature an evolution of Call of Duty's movement system, which is the chain-based movement system. So they say evolution. So does that, like, one minute they say it's exactly the same, or very similar to Black Ops 3's movement system, and now they're saying it's an evolution. So does that indicate that it's going to be different? And if it is, will it be any good? Will it be an improvement, or will they mess it up or something? Because I don't know. All these questions that hopefully will get answered at E3. Because by the way, all this information should be answered at E3, because they have their own stand, I guess you could say, or they're going to be talking about it. So my other piece of information is that Activision Blizzard on May 5th announced their Q1 financial results, and in the press release has revealed that the in-game content sales in Call of Duty, which is basically the supply drops, the DLCs, and like the camos and all this extra content you could get, is setting new records for the Call of Duty franchise. So there's a quote and it says Call of Duty is setting new records for in-game content sales. The franchise more than doubled the number of players who chose to purchase in-game content while maintaining average revenue per paying user. So starting with Advanced Warfare, Activision introduced purchasable supply drops. In Black Ops 3, Activision brought in COD points, which is an in-game currency, and you can use it to get additional rare supply drops or liquid divinium in zombies. So they seem, by reading they seem to be really pleased with the sales, which I'm kind of getting a bad feeling, to be honest, because then they're just gonna. I have a feeling they're gonna make it worse. So introduce, OP guns in supply drops just to get people to buy even more, and just all this. So for me personally, I'm a bit worried that they seem kind of happy about this, but hopefully they'll actually listen to their fans and not ruin it, because Black Ops 3 is a brilliant game, apart from this semi sort of pay to win guns you get. Like they're not brilliant, but it I find myself struggling to actually win a gunfight against them. Usually, the person that has the weapon from supply drops ends up winning the gunfight, which is is just stupid. So they either need to nerf them, or just even out the guns a little bit more, because they seem a little bit too OP. They're not as bad as Advanced Warfare, where it's just ridiculous. Like you had to have these supply drop weapons to win gunfights, because that was just ridiculous. Because like if any of you played Advanced Warfare, if you had the base model or base variant of a gun, let's just say the Bal, and then if you had the Inferno, or like you was against someone that had the Inferno, or especially the Obsidian Steed, you'd be outgunned almost pretty much every time by the it's a Obsidian Steed. So let's just hope it doesn't turn into that in Black Ops 3. Because apart from that, Black Ops 3 is a brilliant game. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.